All right, shalom and good morning, Boaz here. Well, on our way out to pick up some supplies in preparation for Passover, but also just to stock up on some things that we've noticed that we've been running low on, and that's what it's about. Having that 6-8 year supply of critical things that you need, because listen, and I digress already, but you need to start in your homes baking more of your own goods, cooking more. I'm a person that I love to eat out. However, we're noticing more and more about all of this bioengineered, genetically modified, pesticide and herbicide laced, not to mention the conditions in which this food is being processed. We see it all. Focus on baking your own goods, making your own ice cream, sourcing the materials yourself. All of these kind of things is going to be critical. But that's not what I wanted to talk about. What I wanted to talk about was the notion of, or the fact that you see so much disrespect that women perpetuate on men in society today. I was watching a video of a man stand straight up while he had his woman slap him silly, and he stood there and did nothing. She berated him, she slapped him, and he did absolutely nothing. And I said, look at here. And you got to understand something. When you have an environment into which girls, young ladies, don't see a functioning, living example of what it means for a woman to respect a man and to humble herself in the presence of a man, she's going to go out and do the exact opposite. Because, see, in absence of knowledge, evil and wickedness will always be the default. In the absence of wisdom and righteousness and instruction, chaos, calamity, and wickedness will always be the default. And we're living in a generation now where the nucleus of the family, the family structure, where I'm talking about a man, a woman, raising their children in a home where that man goes out and he brings home the bacon. They say brings home the beef. Goes out, acquires the resources for that woman that is home, nurturing and being the frontline teacher at that home, tending to the home, cooking, tending to the children, and tending to her husband. This model, which I live, is greatly lacking in society today. I think everybody would agree with that. And see, the problem is that a lot of people who front like but don't really represent this model, this structure in which we need, because we see the decline. They're the first to get angry. They're the first to condemn this kind of lifestyle, when historically it has always been a fact that you'll have when you're in biblical, traditional order of a man going out and providing and protecting and leading, and the woman being home, nurturing and taking care of the home and tending to the home. This was a resounding success, and now today we have a resounding failure. If your daughters, or if the daughters of Zion, which were prophesied to be haughty and stiff-necked and bald-headed, not my words, words of in Deuteronomy, the prophecies that were put forth, which many people don't believe as well. You can tell that they don't believe when you look at their actions. But when you have this kind of structure, it's going to flourish. My children, I have 3 daughters and 2 sons, right? And my daughters, if they don't get and understand what it means to be a helpmeet and what it means, because I'm raising them to be wives, and it's amazing that a lot of people, as a matter of fact, no one that I know, especially out in the world, will get on camera and say that they're raising their daughters to be wives. They won't say it. You know why? Because it's not in their heart. And this is why we have the dysfunction in society today, because this is a little known fact. But modern day men also train their daughters to be modern women, not to depend on men to get their own, to set them on. I've heard this myself. They're not raising them to be traditional women, but they complain that we don't have traditional women, which by and far is true. We don't. See, it's all about the solution. It's all about making sure that you're a part of the solution and not the problem. But going back to the daughters, if they don't see respect, they're going to default to disrespect. There's all the time where my wife catches them in some little tone, because you know how little girls can be. And she'll catch him even before I catch him. As a matter of fact, she'll catch him, and I ain't even noticed that it happened. A little huffing and puffing and turning and little things that they do subtly. And my wife is on them. She is on them. Because if they don't see respect, which a lot of these women, see, this is why they can't respect a man today or be under the headship or the leadership of a man today, is because they didn't see their father do that with their mother. They saw their mother in control. They saw their mother dominating and ruling. They saw their father weak and belittled. And this is why you see women today so masculine. Go and look at the relationship that they had with their father, or lack thereof. Let alone not even in the presence of their father. I'm seeing this again and again. I'm 48 years old, and I'm seeing these young girls, of either women that I've dated or women in family, friendships, people that I've just seen on the daughters grow up to be just as rebellious and haughty as the mothers. And it always goes back a weak man in the house or no man in the house at all. See, we got to bring back traditional values. And me personally, I look at even my family on my mother's and father's side, and it's sad. It is sad, but it is true. And you see, my natural family, they watch my videos also. Now, if anybody on my mother's or father's side have a traditional home, it's to where the man goes out and provides, and the woman is a stay-at-home woman. She ain't got no job. She could have a business, but she ain't got no job. She tends to the children, and they raise their house in that fashion. I stand corrected, but personally, I don't know of anyone of my brothers or sisters or cousins or nieces on my mother's and father's side that homeschool their children and raise their children in a traditional setting. That's sad. That's sad. And then you see, this is why we have all these generational curses, because I see the children. I see my nieces and nephews growing up and without doing the same thing that their mothers did. This I'm talking about in my family. Baby mamas, all my nieces and nephews, baby daddies and baby mamas, going on, continuing the cycle. Now, I do have, as a matter of fact, my younger sister is married to her husband, and they both work and they both run their household, and them children are doing well. But I don't see anybody in a traditional setting where the fruit of their as a matter of fact, I must say that outside of me, my little sister is probably doing the best job, and her husband are doing a damn good job in raising their daughters. Now, if they're raising them, I just see them from the perspective of they're intelligent, they're well behaved, they're well mannered, things of that nature. But you don't see this at all. And this is why we have the problems that we're having with the daughters of Zion. Listen here, all these women out here that are single, women with raising daughters, there ain't no way she gonna be able to teach her daughter how to be a virtuous wife, to cooperate with no man when she sees her mother in and out of relationships or not in one at all. There's no way she's going to be able to teach that. And the sad thing about it is that many of these women got on head wraps and calls themselves daughters of Zion. Ain't around anything. How can you teach your child something that you don't exert or have given them the living example? Why should they do it if you haven't done it yourself? This kind of talk is very much hated in the day and age that we're living in, because see, in order for you to cut the mustard, you got to parent in somebody's life. And when you parent in somebody's life, you know exactly what's going on. We got to raise the next generation. Young daughters of Zion that love and respect and honor their husbands. And the only way, there's not several ways, and that's what the problem is, because the straight and narrow way is just one way. The best and only way to raise your children, your daughters, to be wives, is if they see the living example in you. Functionally, joyfully. And then they're going to want to go and perpetuate it themselves. Because if they see mommy and daddy arguing, fussing and fighting and getting into arguments and being nasty towards one another, guess what they're going to do? That's what they're going to do. They're going to be like, I don't want to do that. See, my daughters are sitting there, I got my 3 daughters, and we're sitting there. They don't see none of that. They don't see none of that. They don't witness none of that. They don't experience any of that. And no, they're not in their back looking at me talking about, oh, your daddy's a hypocrite, this and the third, because they don't see it. They don't experience it. They experience a loving household in which 2 people who love and respect one another and has taken a vow. That ain't something that's too much honored today. You see all of the adultery going on today. It's sad. It is sad. The wife swapping and the adultery that's going on today, it is crazy. But they said that it would be a wicked and adulterous generation. Did it not? Because people don't want to respect and honor their vows, becoming adulteresses. But listen, it is what it is. My thing is I'm big on the notion of, listen, I get it, I understand it, but I'm going to be the living example. I'm going to be the doer and not the hearer only, and thereby receiving the blessings. Stay blessed. You done heard the truth. Shalom.